As conditions aboard U.S. aircraft carriers remain in the spotlight, President Donald Trump has downplayed media reports about the USS Abraham Lincoln in remarks to reporters at the Oval Office. The nearly 9-month extended deployment of the carrier in West Asia is said to have triggered supply issues and a mental health crisis among the crew. The massive nuclear-powered ship departed California in November 2025 for duty in the South China Sea and was rerouted to West Asia before U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran that began on February 28. However, Trump rejected the idea that the ship, now at sea for more than 240 days, it had been deployed for far too long.
At a group meeting, and an admiral came up to see me over the weekend. And it was at a big group, and he happened to be an admiral retired. He said, "I've been on ships that are out there much longer than that, sir. And I know people on the Lincoln, they say it's beautifully maintained and beautifully taken care of." And other people went out and they found out to be true. It was fake news reporting from CNN.
The U.S. president confirmed reports that the ship was due to be swapped out with another aircraft carrier. USS George Washington is sailing towards West Asia to take its place as the U.S. remains locked in a stalemate with Iran over control of the Strait of Hormuz and definitely the country's nuclear program, which has been another contentious issue. U.S. media, including specialist military publications, have quoted multiple relatives of crew members saying that living conditions have deteriorated on the Lincoln. Earlier, the Navy conceded that the war created a highly contested environment where traditional supply hubs in West Asia were disrupted by combat actions. That, in turn, led to shortages and loss of mail aboard the aircraft carrier, and among details emerging from accounts by sailors' families was that 2 sailors had tried to jump overboard. Amid this, Acting Navy Secretary Hong Kao said that a small number of mental health cases were treated with no loss of life. He blamed the media for trying to paint the warriors as victims. U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth also stepped up to dismiss reports of utter misery aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln.
Completely misrepresented. Listen, we make sure at every ship, every crew, every captain has everything we can provide them at every single moment. Some deployments are longer than others, and I have more respect and gratitude for those sailors than anybody. What they do in those high seas and those austere conditions with less port calls, it's incredible.